Welcome to the Scott McGlynn Show podcast. Please welcome your host. It's Scott McGlynn.
Welcome back to the Scott McGlynn Show, guys. And today I have Ronan Parke. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm good. I'm enjoying the sunshine.
Yes.
How is everything with you with this lockdown situation?
It's okay. It's been a busy week this week, which is bizarre, really. But other than that, it's been boring, and I've just been trying to keep busy with other things that I don't usually do, like exercise. So I guess it's not all bad.
That's one thing I haven't been doing. Like, I've been watching so many people online, like these live videos and stuff, like doing exercise, and I think bad that I'm not doing them, but I'm thinking, nah, it's okay. I just wait.
Yeah, well, I mean, my version of exercise is just walking, but it's still good for me.
Yeah, it's still exercise, right? Yeah, I go dog walking, because you got dogs as well, right?
Yes, yeah, I do. I have a Labradoodle, so she is loving all of the extra attention at the moment.
I know. I said this like to people. I was thinking, because we got 4 dogs, and then me and my partner, we run like busy lives. So when we actually go back into like normal life, they're gonna have like a heartbreak because we're not going to be here.
Oh, 4 dogs. That sounds like a very busy household.
yeah, they're crazy ones. But like we've got like 3 small ones and one large one. So it's not the small ones kind of just like add up to be like just 2 big ones, really. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like, to be honest, I would love to have like 20 dogs and just have a sanctuary. That would be fine with me.
I know. I would love to have more.
Yeah.
Never say never. You never know. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you've been really busy on your YouTube channel, which we're going to just touch base soon. But thank you for coming on.
No, thank you so much for having me.
So if any listeners out there who doesn't know who you are, that you did appear, well, you're most famous for being on Britain's Got Talent back in 2011, was it? Yes?
Yeah, 11, a long time ago.
I know. And I can't believe, you was like 12, right? Like 12 years old then.
Yeah, I was 12 on the show. And it feels like a lifetime ago.
It does. You're 21 now, right? I think that's...
Yes, 22 in August.
Oh, right, okay. I did my research, so I know what.
I like it. You've been prepared.
Isn't it crazy, though? Because, like, like, every time, like, because obviously it is every year, like, does it bring back, like, memories, like, you've been on the show, or...?
I feel every year I just forget more and more. And I think it was such a crazy experience that at the time I just never really took anything in, and that's one thing I really regret, because I remember having such a wonderful time, but everything was so fast paced that I just never stopped and took a second to just really take it all in. So I feel as the years go by, I'm just forgetting more and more. But no, I have very fond memories. The small memories I do have.
I know. I was going to say, because like I can't remember. I don't think I can remember my 18th birthday. Like I can't. It's just things forget. That's where you got photographs and you were on national TV, darling. So you got loads of memories there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought, because obviously your shows, and you think, oh my God, like I was there, and people of auditioning now and stuff, and going to the live shows because you was the runner-up. God, that's you can kind of relate in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I watch the show religiously every year. I've always been a fan of the show, but watching it after being on it and going through the whole process, it's definitely very different. I feel myself getting nervous, especially in the live shows when they're stood waiting to kind of find out if they're going through. And I'm just like, I can feel myself getting all nervous. So sometimes I do have to kind of not watch those parts because I feel like I'm there with them. But no, I mean, I love the show. I do love talent shows. And I'm definitely still a very big fan of the show, but it's definitely you have a different perspective after being on there, for sure.
Well, yeah, it's like, I think, when you from the showbiz world and you've been on things like this, and like, I think like if you're like an actor or actress, and you know, you've been on a TV show, like, you know, when you watch something, like you just know the ins and outs kind of thing of what goes on behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, definitely. And they edit it so well. I mean, their editing team are incredible. But I think watching it now and seeing that they're on there for whatever, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you think, actually, they're sat in a room for 10 hours feeling incredibly nervous, but they make it look so wonderful, which it is. But it's definitely just watching it now, you just think, oh my gosh, I wonder what they were getting up to beforehand and how long it took them to, until they actually got on stage. Because I remember when I auditioned, I was the last one on that night. So I'd been there all day and heard all the buzzers and all of the all of the cheers, everything like that. And I was just, it made me more and more nervous.
It would be. And I think, like, I don't know, it's like kind of a mixed age, because, you know, when you're that kind of young, I think confidence wise, because you don't know much about, not in a bad way, but not about the real world, like it doesn't really faze you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think, because I always get the question, do you think it's okay for young people to be going on talent shows? And I honestly think my naivety helped me on the show, at least, because although I was incredibly nervous, I really didn't go in with any expectations, and I was just this excited kid that just couldn't believe I was on a show that I loved and watched every year. So I think that actually really helped being so young. I mean, I cried like a baby every time I was on the screen, but I do think being young and just naive to it all really, really helped, actually.
I think so. I think, you know, and I watched, I think it was one last week, and it was a little girl. I don't know how old she was, but you know, she was incredible, you know. It's like,
was she the one who got the golden buzzer from Simon?
I think, was it her?
She was fabulous.
But it's like, you know, I think the reason why I think this show is obviously open to like from a young age is because young people, as much as talented as like people like past the 50s, right? Like, it's not an age talent.
Yeah,
which I
agree.
Because, I love about that. And I'm glad they did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have found you. Hey.
Yeah, lucky me.
Yeah. But I always think, though, and this is my personal opinion, but like before, I used to love the X Factor. That was really my thing, and then I think I just like swung off that now. I don't know why, but like I'm just more Britain's Got Talent person than the X Factor thing.
Yeah, I think with Britain's Got Talent, what makes it so special is the variety.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you just kind of, and I love the judging panel on Britain's Got Talent. I think they've got it down so well on there. But I really do think the variety that you see on the show, it is special. And the whole format with the buzzers, everything is exciting. You don't know what's going to happen.
No.
And it's just, you know, every year, although it's the same format every year, you still don't know, you know, what's going to happen. And I just think that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, because it was one guy, and he was like going on, and it was very serious, and he just like whipped out his straw, and I'm like, okay, just started. Like, okay, you just don't know, and that's the exciting bit. So, who was your judge? I know Simon and Amanda was, right, but who was?
Yes, and we had Michael McIntyre.
Oh, right.
And David Hasselhoff.
David.
Yeah, the Hoff. And Simon wasn't there for my audition, so they had Louis Walsh there on the day, and then Simon was back for the live shows.
Oh, right, okay. Because they keep changing. But I know, like, I like the panel, like you said. Now I think it's a bit like David Walliams. He's just incredible. I just love him as a person, anyway.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
Yeah, and I think it's really good because it's like a proper mixed.
Yes,
panel,
yeah,
you know?
I think so. I think that's what's really lovely about it as well.
Yeah.
And they're all talented in their own right, which I think is very important when you're judging people. I think it's important that you have a talent of your own as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I think David Walliams, like he takes so many, like obviously the comedian side is just the comedy is just hilarious, and that's just his comedy is like my comedy. You know, it's just that relatable.
Yeah,
I just get it.
Yeah, he is. He's very funny.
Yeah, and some of my friends absolutely like don't get it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, what? I was like, oh, it's hilarious. Like, how about like now? Like, because obviously you're 21. Like, if it was now you was gonna do it, like, do you think you would, or do you think maybe you would have just probably gone for the X Factor instead? It's like,
I feel I find that question so hard just because I have done it. I find it really hard to picture and imagine what I'd be doing now, and if that would still be something that I'd want to do. I mean, I don't think I would have ever gone on the X Factor just because I was always more of a fan of Britain's Got Talent.
Right.
I think I'd probably give it a shot. But I think in every industry really, but especially in the music industry, I do think timing is everything, and I just feel that was the right time for me to go on a talent show. And as I said earlier, I do think that being that young, I do think it really helped.
Yeah. Was you just saying to your mum and dad, it's like, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it? And he's like, okay.
Well, I didn't tell anyone. I always used to sing around the house and put on shows, even when people didn't want me to. And a family friend, everyone kept saying, you need to go on Britain's Got Talent. And I just kind of shrugged them off every time. And then a family friend actually sent me the application form just through an email or something. And I applied for it, and she was the only person that knew. And then I was on a school trip in Germany, and Britain's Got Talent called my mum, or the house phone, and my mum answered, and she slammed the phone down on them about 6 or 7 times, thinking that it was a scam. Then she finally got hold of me in Germany, and I was like, "Mother, answer the phone. it's real." She was like, "Oh my God!" So nobody knew that I'd gone for it.
Oh wow! So when they aired it on TV, that's when they kind of knew it was like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the kind of pre-audition. I don't know if they still do that now, but there was usually the pre-audition. So my dad came with me to that, and the family friend that sent me the application form, she also came along. And then my whole family came to the Apollo, where they filmed it all.
Yeah, I think they do the priest. I know they definitely do on the X Factor. I think it's just because it must be thousands of people apply for these.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that day more than I remember the whole show, really. That was a very intense day.
God, yeah, I can imagine, and especially because you was the last one, unfortunately. That must have been like, So,
it was pretty crazy. And then I remember they let obviously all the audience out after, and me and my family were starving, and so we just went to the McDonald's at Hammersmith, and all of the audience seemed to also go to McDonald's, and then it was just complete chaos. And that was it was a pinch me moment, because we'd obviously had this incredible experience, but we knew that it wasn't going to air for a long time. And then it was this crazy crowd of people, and my family was sitting around, and I was sat there like, what is going on? So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
What was it kind of like that's kind of like a celebrity moment, like they want to take a photo with you? Is that the kind of thing?
Well, I think the way that I've kind of viewed that, it just how people say talent shows can change your life overnight. And I know it's such a corny thing, and I actually hate it when people say it, but it literally, my life changed that day instantly. And I think because it was an experience where I went in with no expectations, it was just such a huge shock. And that was, although I had then months to wait until it was aired, that was kind of just a taste of what was to come, I suppose.
And it must be so hard though, isn't it? Because I when I get stuff and like I can't release it for a long time, and you're definitely the same, like it's so like, oh, I just want to tell people now, I want people to know now, and just hold off, right?
Yeah, and I'm the most impatient person you'll ever meet. I mean, I sit at a traffic light and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I've been here for an hour. So yeah, I'm a very impatient person, so I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah, me too. And I've on the show I've had so many like different people in the music industry, and they said, I did this like 2 years ago and I'm just releasing it now. I've just been waiting. Yeah. And I'm like, oh geez, like how can you wait that long? Like I'm like, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I did it. Let's get it out. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that sometimes, but then again, as I said earlier, I feel like timing is really important.
Yeah.
And I have to try and kind of train myself to think, right, don't rush this. Don't get all impatient. Now it's done. You just want to chuck it out there. You have to wait for the right time. And I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying hard.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think because like, I'm a bit older than you. I'm going to say my age, but here we go. But like, I think now, like in the career, like, you know, at the start, I'm like, oh, I want to do this and get it out. I want to do this, get it out. But like now, I think I'm learning. I think if you wait and, you know, you just make sure it's all right and happy and you're happy and everyone's happy with it, you know, and then it's time.
Yeah, and I think that also comes with kind of being a perfectionist and wanting everything to be right. I always think that it's best to just, even if it's a few days, and then just re-listen to it or rewatch it or whatever you've done. There'll always be something else that you can kind of pick up on. And I think that's one thing that I've learned, because I listen back to some things that I did years ago and I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? So maybe it's my trauma from from all of the rubbish videos I put out before.
But I think growing, and just learning, that's what makes you grow, I think, and learn.
Yeah, definitely.
We've all done mistakes, we've all done different things that we're not proud of, but, it's fine, we get over it and do it the next time and we get better.
Yeah, exactly.
But you also got a YouTube channel and I've checked it out. It's incredible because I don't think listeners, I hope you do check you out after this, but you are an incredible singer.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, honestly. And you do post a lot of your music on YouTube, right?
I'm trying to do more. Again, going back to the kind of perfectionist thing, I really am, especially when it comes to my singing. There's always something I'm like, I could have done that better. I could have done this better. And I think with the YouTube stuff, because I'm just filming it all at home and it's just on a very standard microphone and I'm filming it with my phone, I really don't have the kind of opportunity to be a perfectionist. And I think that's been a really fun challenge for me with the YouTube stuff. I really respect when a singer or a performer is just raw with it and there's no effects and there's no, kind of rubbish around it to try and fluff it up. I think it's really exciting when somebody, and I think it's rare these days, when somebody is just real and honest and raw. And I think that's been really fun for me with YouTube, because when I was younger and obviously growing up a little bit in the spotlight and with social media, I do feel there's this pressure, especially on young people, for everything to be perfect all the time and to show this perfect reality that's not a reality. And I was getting so caught up in all of that. And I just feel that doing this has given people that follow me and support me an opportunity to really get to know me a little bit better, and also for myself to just take the pressure off that I feel just from society, in this day and age. It's just been a really fun, and it's been a nice release, actually, just to kind of go with it and just be myself.
Yeah, and because you do like Q&A videos on YouTube, right? And
yeah, so I've kind of started this vlogging side to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has always been music videos and covers, and it's all been singing related. And then I thought, I've got this really loyal following that have followed me, for nearly 10 years now, and I just feel I've never really let people get to know the real me. And I've grown a lot and I've changed a lot since the show. And I really thought that the YouTube channel, if I started a kind of vlogging side to it on top of the singing stuff, I thought it was a really fun way for people to get to know me a bit better, rather than just, a perfectly filtered photo on Instagram or something. This was just the real and raw kind of side to me. And I think that's really fun. I love watching people vlog, and I feel like it's the new thing now. I'm still trying to get my head around editing and things like that, but it's all a learning curve. But yeah, so that was the whole idea behind the YouTube channel. So I still have all of my covers and music videos and things on there, but then I also have a vlogging side to the channel.
Yeah, which is great, because these supporters, there's like you said, it's nearly been 10 years. That's crazy, nearly a decade.
Yeah. Oh God, don't remind me.
I'm sorry. But but that's incredible, because obviously, they want to maybe know what you do, because some people do want to know this stuff, what you get up in the morning, how you do your hair, because you got amazing hair, right?
Oh, thank you. Not at the moment. Oh my gosh, I haven't been to a hairdresser in God knows how long. So.
10 weeks, darling. 10 weeks has been. But people want to know, and I think that's a really nice thing. Like you said, it's just real life. But you do a lot on Instagram. I know your stories is very you're out walking, like you said.
I feel like that's just my life on my Instagram at the moment, is just walking. I'm just walking my dog.
Me too.
Nothing exciting.
I think I did a couple of TikToks of them as well. I think just a little bit of fun TikTok. Just that's the only thing we can do, right? Just
yeah. God.
Big videos of our dogs, which is great. But like that's the insight, though. I think of your life, and I think that's what is really great about social media. I think that's one of the positive sides about it.
Yeah.
So
I think
great.
so. I feel like it was a little bit of I felt like I was kind of rebelling against what social media has kind of become. It's become, this just kind of false reality. And it started really irritating me because I felt myself falling into the trap of just trying to make everything look perfect and not being honest about different situations, and, not saying that I'd worked in coffee shops and I'd worked in retail and I didn't have an agent, or I'd gone 2 years without performing. And I felt really embarrassed to say those things. And so I just felt, it's time to do something about it so I don't get stuck in that trap of trying to make everything look perfect when it's not.
No. And I swear I read like an article out, maybe I don't know when it was, but it must have been recent, but it was like people like it's being like in the East Enders or Connecticut, stuff like that, and they're out working normal jobs because a lot of people may not know that, but like actors, especially in LA, geez, people interviewed in LA, like they work in them, and they've been like on a successful TV show, they just do it just to pay more rent or something, it's just life.
Well, I think people forget sometimes with this industry, they seem to think that because you've been on a show or you've acted in a movie, or they seem to kind of think you're made and you're sorted and it's just been given to you. But there's a lot of work that goes into it, as with every job. There's a lot of work and preparation that really goes into it, and we all have to still fight. There's so much competition in this industry. It's filled with incredibly talented people. So I think people kind of forget that there's we still have to go show up to the auditions, and we have to email as many people as possible, and we have to just try and push it. We don't just have it all figured out just because we did one thing that people saw, and I do think people forget that sometimes.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think like a lot behind the scenes, which no one really talks about, so I'm quite happy like you're very open anyway, and you're happy to talk about because it's real life. You like an agent or like a PR person can only do so much. You got to probably put like 60% of that work in.
Yeah.
You can only do like so much to kind of, and it's just, yeah. But you got a very successful YouTube channel, so I can't complain about you, dear.
Well, thank you. I'm still trying to push it a little bit more. Just with the covers and things, it's really fun for me now. I do think people have still got the 12-year-old boy singing "Feeling Good" in their head. So it's really fun for me because I have changed so much and my voice has developed so much. It's really fun for me now to put it out with this kind of new voice that I'm really enjoying singing kind of more than ever, really. So it's just a really fun experience.
Yeah. Do you like? I want to go back a bit on the social media side, if you don't mind. Because obviously, it is positive and negative things to it. Like, but have you been like affected by a cyberbullying, or trolls online?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, that was definitely something that I struggled with. I was really, really lucky because I had a great team around me at the time who really helped me, and I have incredible parents who I was really open with. But it was something new for me because I happened to go on a talent show, and then then people's opinions come flying in, and I don't think anyone can really prepare you for that. But it was one of those things where I just kind of had to deal with the fact that that's how it is, and it's unfortunate. It shouldn't be like that. But I was, as I said, I was really lucky with the support system behind me. But at one point, it definitely affected me because I just thought, how can you spout so much hate about somebody you just don't know? And I've not done anything wrong to you. And it took me a while to really wrap my head around it and get to the stage where I am now, where I just really don't care. And I think that's just, like you say, growing up and feeling more secure in yourself, and perhaps being more open about things and just feeling more confident.
Yeah, and I understand what you mean. But like, I think it doesn't matter who you are. It could be like bloody Beyonce, and she would get like hate mail, right? Like,
Mm.
I think it's anything when you're in the public eye and you're doing things publicly, and people can like pretty much judge on stuff you do, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I think is always like a good thing and a bad thing. But we gotta hate those trolls though. Jeez, like I was really affected at the start. You're like you. I'm like, I don't know how to take this. Like either
Yeah.
you kind of bite back, or you just kind of leave it, or
Mm.
I just kind of just leave them.
Yeah, that was one thing that I struggled with because I've always been raised to really stand up for myself.
Yeah.
But I just thought if I entertain this, I'm just giving them what they want. And I just feel I'm at a stage now when I see it, I just feel really bad for them that they're spending their time commenting on somebody that they just don't know. And, you know, fair enough, if I did something terrible to them, then fine. But, you know, for somebody to just go on a computer and just spout hate for no reason, and it, you know, it happens to really everyone. I mean, I can't even remember the number, but there's such a high percentage of people that still are getting bullied every single day, and it's just like I don't understand what goes through people's heads.
No,
I really don't. But that was definitely something that I was like you. I'm like, do I fight back here? Because I've always been taught I need to stand up for myself. And I'm like, you know, if I feel there's an injustice, I'm always the first person to kind of speak out. And that was hard for me not to keep tweeting back to people or commenting back to people. But I just thought no. And to be honest, there was so much hate at one point. It would have taken up my whole bloody day.
Just go back all these people. But like, it's a good thing though. I think you just got to rise above it. And and unfortunately, you know, I don't think they're never going to stop. I don't know. I just, my personal opinion, I think it might get a little bit, I don't know if it's going to get worse because it's just like more platforms like coming out, like just.
Yeah,
like
I think social media, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
it just gives everybody a voice and they get to, which is nice, but they also get to spout a load of rubbish that's just unjustified. And I think that's one of the downsides to it, for sure.
Do you still get it now? Because I know you said you got it earlier on, like the social media stuff, but do you still get a bit here and there, or do you just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still get it from, you know, now and then. I get it more now. Just it's actually more verbal rather than cyberbullying. Walking down the street and things like that, I hear it a lot, and it's always about sexuality. And it was always about sexuality when I was on the show as well, and it was all the cyber stuff. It's always about, oh, you're gay, you're this, you're that, and I feel I get that more now. Because I'm very confident in who I am and my sexuality, and I'm not afraid to hide that. And so I think that's probably more what I get now. But again, it's one of those things that I've just grown up a lot, and I really just don't care anymore. But it's still, you know, for some people, it's just it's awful what people have to go through for no real reason. So yeah, I mean, it's still something that happens, but it's just not, it doesn't affect me the same way.
I can't believe, I'm actually quite shocked that you said like, it's more like, you know, in person kind of thing, because I'm like, I wouldn't come out to you street level and be like, you know, like I just would never do that to anybody. Like,
no,
like so that's confidence them just to go over and do that, you know what I mean? And I think really bad and rude, you know. It's like at least bloody tweet it to me so I can delete it after or something, you know. It's like whatever, but keep your thoughts to yourself, you know. But I know you're such a nice person, you're such a nice guy, and you so positive, and I think, you know, this kind of stuff will never knock you down now, which is a really great thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because I dealt with it at such a young age, I had to grow up really, really quick, and I'm so grateful for that. And I think that's why I'm so grateful for the experience of going on BGT at such a young age, because I did have to grow up really quickly. And I feel it's really helped me now. At 21, I'd still like to think I'm quite young. And I don't know if I was on the show, I don't know how I'd be now, because I had this experience where I had to just get over it and grow up. And and I'm grateful for that now.
Yeah, absolutely, Hannah. I'm proud of you, and a lot of people are. You know, you got bloody thousands of followers and supporters, and that makes everything amazing. So, and I want to talk about Pride. Unfortunately, when all Pride, I think, has been cancelled now. I think Cardiff just got cancelled. There's my local one. But I know you perform at Pride quite a lot.
I
Don't you?
do. Yeah, I was supposed to do a UK and US Pride tour this year,
Oh,
with some other shows in there, but predominantly Prides. And I was so excited. It was going to be such a busy summer, but unfortunately, all of them have, of course, been cancelled.
yeah.
But I am doing a couple of virtual prides, which is fun, and I think it's so important. Obviously with everything that's going on, and it's terrible, and we all have to be there for each other. But it's so important that we still acknowledge Pride and Pride Month, and still try and have the events in some way. And I've been seeing so many organizations or events still trying to put the shows on virtually, and I just think that's incredible, because for some people it really is, and well, I think for a lot of LGBT plus people, it's just such an important month, and I think it will be forever. And I'm really happy to see so many people still trying to get things done and put things together so we can all really celebrate it together.
Absolutely. I know you. Yeah, they are. I think every the people that puts them on, I think they are doing it just online, which is incredible, because they haven't forgotten about it. They just it's cancelled. Sorry. See you next year. I think they are still trying to push it and keep it active for people to join in and celebrate it from their homes, which I think is incredible. Where was you going to go in the UK? Was you going to come down to Cardiff?
I was.
Oh, you was?
I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say that, but I'm saying it. It wasn't announced, but yes, I was coming to Cardiff Pride.
Oh. I know. It's fine. I'm from Cardiff, and I don't run the Pride, but they know me, so they're like
I was completely gutted, but I am speaking to them, and hopefully something will happen, and I'll be back there next year, 100%. And this community is just so wonderful, and they'll be back with a bang next year, and I cannot wait for it. It will be, a Pride Month to remember, 100%. It's going to be very, very special. Okay. I think it's great in all communities everywhere around the world, how people are really dealing with this and staying positive, and really looking forward to the future. And I think that's such a great mindset to have in times like this.
Yeah. And like you said, that they are going to do it bigger and better, I think. Because they're saving so much money this year, so they're going to put it double next year, right?
You'd like to think.
UK for a month. And you was going to go to America. That's quite incredible.
So it was going to be a pretty big thing. I've been to America before to record and holidays and things, but I'd never actually performed in America live, and I had quite a lot of shows planned there. But again, I'm working on rescheduling it for next year, so it's definitely something to look forward to. And I was supposed to be going out, while I was out there, I was supposed to be recording some new material, so that will all be rescheduled for next year as well. So I'm looking forward to next year for sure. It's unfortunate what's happened this year, but nobody could have predicted this.
No.
And so, it is what it is.
Yeah. And I think, it's something to look forward to. I think to everyone now, just get a rest. Because when this is up, everyone's just going to be so crazy busy, and I think, before we know it, it's going to be Christmas, and then it's going to be like the New Year, right? And then it's just going to be hectic. So,
God, that's scary, isn't it?
No, but I want to ask, because of I don't want to repeat it again, but you have been in the industry. Well, people know you in the industry for at least a decade. I do apologize, but so you must have been offered some other shows to go on. I don't know, maybe I'm a celeb, maybe Celebrity Big Brother, I don't know, have you been offered any of these? And you think it's okay, I'm all right.
I've been offered certain things, other talent shows and things, but I just feel I was so lucky with my experience on kind of reality TV, and I just feel it was really a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I wouldn't want to, again, timing is everything. I keep saying that, but perhaps one day if something came about and it was right for me, then I'd jump at the chance. But I just feel I always have to make sure that I'm 100% ready for something. And I don't know, I feel I just really want to be, I know I have a clear goal of where I want to be as a musician and a singer and a performer. And I just feel sometimes reality shows can, obviously if it's a talent show and you're going on to sing and perform, that's a bit different, but other reality shows I feel can sometimes distract people from what you really love to do. But you know, different opportunities. I'm in a place at the moment where I'm just like, I'm saying yes to as much as possible, but I still have to do it within reason and still have to be really happy with everything that I'm doing. So
I feel
yeah, I mean, the short answer would have been
Thank you.
Yeah, the short answer would have been yes. I have, you know, I have kind of had different offers over the years, but yeah, nothing has really been quite right for me.
No. Oh, hon, come on. If I'm a celeb, I think that show, I think is just incredible. And you met Ant and Dec before, so you know you're friends. So if that come up, I think you should do it.
I just don't think I could. I have a phobia of snakes. I have a phobia of frogs. That's my biggest phobia is frogs. I don't like creepy crawlies. I like my food. I like my wine. Like, I just don't think I could do it. I really don't. And I don't like camping.
I don't know. I think it's more like I don't mind rats. Snakes are okay. I think it's more the spiders. And I think, I don't know what it is, but it's the foodie. Maybe that's an issue I have. Like,
yeah, I feel like all of it is a no-no.
That's the price was right, honey. You never know.
Well, that's true. Who knows?
But I think that's a good show. Like, you know, I think that show always does everyone good, you know, and everyone, you know, that's what I'm trying to say there is that one is a positive one, you know.
Yeah.
But you never know. I might see you on, like, you know, Celebrity the Chase because you never know, because you're intelligent, very intelligent.
Oh, I don't know. I like to think I'm intelligent, but I don't think I'm that intelligent.
So, so I know obviously this lockdown's going on, but so we're going to be looking at like Pride online. That's what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, months.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Obviously next year we got planned, but is that kind of what you're concentrating on now, or you just releasing more videos on YouTube just so people know what you're kind of up to right now? In this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely working on my YouTube channel just to get more content out there. There's nothing when it comes to the YouTube stuff. It's more just to update the people that are still supporting me and following me, and new people that are supporting and following me. And plus, I just love it. I really love to sing, and because I'm not going to be on a stage probably for the rest of this year, this is something I still get to perform and share it with people, and that's kind of my favorite thing to do is perform. So that's the plan with the YouTube stuff, and keep up the vlogging, although I am struggling with trying to find content in lockdown, because I had a kind of plan to do the behind the scenes of touring, which I thought would be really fun, but that will be for next year. And then I really am focusing on planning next year. I'm also looking at different routes as well. You know, I still love my pop music, and I still love the prides and, you know, other festivals and things like that. But I also have a real passion for musical theatre, and so I guess I'm looking into other directions as well that I've not tried before. I feel I really want to challenge myself a bit more. So I'm definitely focusing on next year to just try and be as busy as I can, because I feel I love it so much, and I think it's made me so hungry for it even more with this whole situation going on at the moment. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next year.
Yeah, and I think when there's these things, you know, when we take things, not saying you take your things for granted, but you know, like even going to like McDonald's or whatever, like, you know, it's for food, you take it for granted. Now it's been taken away for so long, like over 2 months, right? And they're thinking, oh my God, you're really missing that, you know, and you're missing your stage kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're kind of like, when it's like missing and you had so much plan, I'm like, oh man. And then next year you just won't have no time to breathe probably.
And I think that's so true. I do feel like this time is really, like you said, it realizes what you do take for granted. Just simple things like going and seeing your grandparents or your friends, or, you know, whatever, or being on stage, or you know, just whatever it is. I've definitely looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, I've been looking back at shows and I'm like, I should have had way more fun on that stage. You know? And I think it's been a really nice time to reflect, if we're going to try and find a positive in this terrible situation. I think it has been a nice time to really reflect and see what's really important for you.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that one. And Well, Han, I'm very excited to see you more vlogs and but I follow you on Instagram, so I'll just check out all your stories and stuff. It's very cool. So any listeners out there, if you don't follow you already, I'm going to put all your socials in the description so they can check you out. But thank you for coming on.
No, thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I should speak to you soon.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Scott McGlynn Show podcast. Make sure you tweet us at Scott McGlynn and let us know what you learned or enjoyed from the show today. And make sure you subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Spotify and iHeart Radio.